new lessons with us. So, without wasting much time, I would like us to share what we've taken so far. I mean, yesterday's lesson, our take home from yesterday's lesson. And if there's something you want to share with us apart from that, what you've practiced and you want to say, share something with us, we are all ears. We have some few minutes if we can do that. And if you want to talk, kindly raise your hand so that I'll mention your name. So who is taking the first shot for us? Please, am I being heard?
Yes, you are being heard loud and clear.
Okay,
Yes, you are
so
loud and
please, will
clear.
you take the first shot for us? Who is taking the first shot for us? Your take home from yesterday's lesson, please. Hello, or should I mention names randomly? Uh, Madam Roslyn, I can see you want to tell us something. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, Madam Roslyn, please go ahead. But we
Okay.
cannot hear you. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. From yesterday, I was very happy to know about the prompt engineering. And then what I took was how to write a good prompt. That there should be a role assigned, there should be a task, content, and then formula. At least any three of them should be present to have a good prompt. And it's only when we give a good prompt to the AI that he can give us a meaningful write-up. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Who is next? Oh, please, let's share what we took from yesterday's session. That will help us in going forward so that we'll know at least what you've been taught, you got it right. Other than that, it's like we are not doing anything, please. It also makes the session very interactive and interesting. So please share your take home from yesterday's session. I guess I'll have to mention by myself. Mr. Felix Afanam, please, can you share your take home from yesterday's session?
Not just take home. If there's anything they've tried their hands on,
Yeah.
I'd like us to know. Yesterday, someone started with something on ontology, and we had a very brilliant discussion. The things I shared, if you have not said anything, I would have kept it, right? So it is what you bring out. Other than that, this will be some mechanical class, and we don't want that to happen. It's the more questions you ask that is able to stimulate the discussion. You guys are aware that when you meet a lady, you have to do some talking for a while before you start the whole process. Are the men here, is it true or false?
Not when you are Russian.
Anyway.
That one
Hello.
no plenty talk.
Yeah, please, if you want to talk, please talk. It could be anything. Maybe you did some
That's fine. If
practice on your
they
own.
are not ready, Dr. Watson, you proceed and complete your section, and then I'll take over. Just give me 45 minutes for a scenario run with grant writing, right? So just finish with yours, and then you can do. We have from 6:30 to 9, so you have 1 hour, 30 minutes to finish yours, and then we take it out from there. They are not willing to talk now. Maybe they are just joining. So
All right. So, Dr. Watson, please.
Okay. Uh, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Fine. Yesterday, where did we end? I think we should keep it in mind so that we remind ourselves.
Conversational mode.
Conversational mode. So you remember, and you said you don't remember anything you took home yesterday. Hmm?
Doc, please, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You said where we reach, and I said we reach conversational mode.
And I said, so you remember where we reached?
Yes.
And we were asking about your take home, and nobody was
Oh,
willing
sorry.
to talk.
I just joined. Doc.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, yesterday you walk us through the prompt engineering, where we say it's the simulation of human intelligence by a machine, where we also try to describe the prompt, that is those instructions that we feed that the open AI, based on how we craft or the information we feed the ChatGPT. It gives us the information we are looking for, and if we want to get the best out of the ChatGPT or the open AIs, you need to guide it. And if you can guide it, you may be able to give a prompt that is specific. You put it in context. So you try to tell us that you should give it a role to play, to act as a particular, yes, maybe a teacher or whatever topic you are dealing with. You try to make the system act as such, and then you give a context, and then you formulate a formulation, then you guide it, you limit it so that it doesn't hallucinate. Then we jump onto the modes, where we start with the question and answers, and then the instructions. Then you would also said that we should give a vague prompt, where you give an example of a vague question, and then you give samples of how to craft it using the context, the rules, and then how to formulate, as well as the limit, so that we get the best out of it. So in a nutshell, this is where we reach.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for summarizing everything we did yesterday. Dr. Bison, please allow sharing. I'm unable to share.
but I hope you know who just spoke. You know who spoke? Dr. Wati. You know him?
But I don't know him in person.
You reviewed
No.
Frank's presentation. You don't know him, the DVLA guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy who this project, what project? Cash, this thing has gold. How do you call it?
Ginger Gold. Ginger Gold
Yeah,
project.
Ginger as gold with that institution, right?
Oh, okay.
He's doing his
College.
PhD at
Agri College.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know that this IEE challenge that they placed fourth, the one you helped them, they just told me that challenge, International Telecom Union. I mean, globally, they were fourth, but this was just about 2 days to submission where they put in the application. So they did well. They chose the first three. He and Lomo, Rebecca Lomo, Dr. Lomo. Yeah. So I think that is a good, if in 2 days you're able to submit for this challenge and place fourth globally, then it means they put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
They
you
should have
guided.
given us one. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's move on to where we left off yesterday. So we're talking about conversational mode. And when you come to conversational mode, what it means is that you engage the AI in a conversation as if you are actually conversing with a human. When you put the AI into this mode, you are able to extract a huge information from the AI because it will be giving you bits and pieces. But when you ask one question at a time, it will answer you and probably also ask you a question to get clarity. And then you answer, and the conversation will continue until you are done getting whatever you want the AI to feed you with. So basically, that is what conversational mode is all about. So, like I said, the purpose is to engage AI in back and forth dialogue for deeper understanding of something. Example of a prompt that instigates this conversational mode or triggers the mode is here. Say, explain to me why sustainable farming is important, and then discuss how it affects soil quality. Another example says, explain Bloom's taxonomy to new SHS teachers. Then ask me 3 questions about my lesson to tailor a formative assessment plan. The teachers among us understand what Bloom's taxonomy is. The next mode is role play mode. We've been assigning roles to the AI in previous examples that were given as prompts. This particular mode is used in so many ways, and it is very helpful, something I have been using for most of the things I do. The academic intelligence center chatbot that was given to us. If you want it to give you the best, just remind it that it is academic intelligence center. And for that matter, it should take up the challenge and help you do this. And you see the quality of return that it will churn out to you. In that instance, you are reaffirming its rule, and it is going to give you the best out of it. It will do all the digging to bring you the best information you need. So the purpose is to simulate scenarios with AI taking specific roles. So I can tell the AI to act as a civil engineer, to act as an architectural engineer, to act as a pharmacist, to act as a farmer, to act as a student, to act as someone who is going for an interview, or to act as an interview panel member. So if you are at your workplace and you are going to attend a promotion interview or something, you can let the AI do a role play for you, especially if you are able to give the AI the information about the panel members. The AI can dig and come out with a possible question they will be able to ask you. The last time, a former colleague of mine was going for an interview for a branch manager. And then I invoked this. There is another mode called simulation mode. You can invoke the two, and it will do the magic for you. So what I did was that I went to the website of the company she was going for the interview, then picked the website address, gave it to the AI to go there and study the profile of the management members, all of them. But definitely, if not all, the panel are going to come from that list. So I asked the AI to go and pick their profile, look at the product that they deal in, look at everything about the organization, and role play the interview for us. And all the questions and answers that came out there was exactly what she was asked at the interview. So role play mode play a key role when you want to get the best out of the AI. So let's look at some example prompts. You are an agricultural extension officer advising a farmer on pest control. What advice do you give? So here the AI has been assigned the role of what? Agricultural extension officer. So whatever advice is going to give you isn't just scanning through the internet to bring you some giant information, but it's going to give you from an expert point of view, an extension officer's point of view. Something, if you contact a real human being, the person may not be able to off-head give you, the AI will be able to give you. So if you want a consultant in a certain area, which you have no knowledge, and probably you have no money to go and consult someone who is an expert, just assign the role of that particular consultant to the AI to help you out with whatever problem you wanted to send to the consultant. And the AI is going to do justice to that for you. Another prompt is here. You are a bank credit officer. I am an SME bakery owner in La Paz. Interview me, into bracket 5 questions, to assess working capital needs. Then summarize risks and next steps. Now let us try this. So the AI now is who? What role have we assigned to the AI?
Bank credit officer.
Great. I've kept it in the chat box. You can copy and paste in your normal AI platform and give me what you got out of it. Someone can also try the first one, the Agric Extension Officer, so that we have two different. Is someone having results already?
Prof. Doc.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have that's given me 5 questions under the various heading, cash, sales and cash inflow.
Can you share?
Should I put in a chat box or I should share my screen?
Share your screen, I mean.
Oh, okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay.
But Control and plus together to make it bigger.
Okay.
Put your hand on the control button and then press the plus button together.
That's what I was done. It's giving 200%.
Oh, okay. And we can see it here. What we see here is not up to 100.
Okay, let me check on something again.
You want to close that. The box there, the rectangle there. Yeah, no. Yeah. Just click on it.
Is it better now, please?
It still looks small, but you can go ahead. You read it to us.
Okay. So gives me credit interview working capital assessments. Question 1, sales and cash inflow. So on average, how much do you make per day and per month in sales? What percentage in cash sales versus credit sales, i.e. supermarkets, schools, and distributors? Then if you sell on credit, what is the typical collection period? That means in days. Then question 2, cost structure and cash outflow. Please estimate your monthly operating costs, broken down into floor and other raw materials, utilities, that's electricity, water, gas, staff wages, rent, and transport. Which of these costs have increased recently? Then question 3, inventory and production cycle. How many days worth of flour and input do you keep in stock? How often do you restock? Do you experience production stoppage due to cash shortages? Question 4, existing obligations and banking history. Do you currently have any loan, overdrafts, or supplier credits? If yes, what are the monthly repayment amounts? Have you ever missed a repayment? Then the last question, question 5, purpose and amount of working capital. How much financing are you seeking? Especially, will the funds be used for inventory, utility wages, or expansion of outputs? Is the need seasonal? That is it festive demand, or permanent? So that's it. Then he also asks further questions. Provisional credit summary before you answer. This is a conditional assessment based on a typical SME bakery in La Paz. Working capital need, indicative. A bakery typically needs working capital to cover 2 to 4 weeks of raw materials, 1 month of wages and utilities, a buffer for electricity or gas price volatility. Indicative working capital gap, 1 to 2 months of operating expenses. Key credit risks identified. A, cash flow risk. Daily cash sales reduce risk. Credit sales without tight collection terms increase risk. B, input price volatility. Flour and fuel price shocks can erode margins quickly. C, power and utility dependence. Unplanned utility expenses can strain liquidity. D, informality risk, if applicable. That is weak record, reduce accessible repayment capacity. Mitigating factors the bank will look for are consistent daily sales, clear separation of business and personal cash, stable locations and customer base in La Paz, bank transactions history, that is 6 to 12 months. Then set likely steps from the bank. Document request, 6 months bank statements, simple sales and expenses record, proof of business location, that's rent agreements or utility bill, facility structuring, short-term overdraft or revolving working capital loan, tenor 3 to 12 months, repayment aligned with daily stroke weekly sales, risk control, mandatory sales through bank accounts, possible guarantor or partial cash collateral. Then he asks, your turn. Answer 5 questions and I will quantify your exact working capital requirements, recommend the right facility size, and help you prepare bank-ready responses for approval. So he asks, would you like this position for a commercial bank, microfinance, or a fintech lender in Ghana? I'm done, please.
Okay. So go up to the prompt.
Yeah.
You started without reading it. The prompt says, you are a bank credit officer.
Yeah.
I am an SME bakery owner in La Paz. Interview me. 5 questions to assess working capital needs. Then summarize risks and next step. So if you follow, it started with the questions and then came to the risks and the next step. So you can scroll down and see the process. So these are the question 1, question 2, up to the 5th question. So there's the summary. And then let's go. The risks identified are there, the mitigating factors, and then the next step. So if you answer those questions it asks, then it means that you're going to go ahead to let it be able to calculate your working capital and everything that the banks will be asking you. So this is a typical question you, as a credit officer, you ask someone who is coming for a loan, especially the informal business operators. They don't have any cash book. They don't have any collateral. They don't even have anything to show that they are running at a loss or they are running at a profit. So it is left to you as a credit officer to be able to ask the relevant questions in order to get all the information you need to build from scratch their working capital, their profit per month, and everything that you need to get. So that's it. The Agric Extension Officer, did someone try that?
The bank SME, I got something different. Should I read mine or it's okay?
Can someone take us through the other one, rather? Oh, no one tried that one. You say you got something different.
Yes, I did.
And why do you think so? Why should we all use the same prompt and get different results?
I don't know.
Can someone help us?
No, I'm expecting a different result, but the risk level should be aligned at the end. It's like asking 2 different people one question. The intention will be the same, but the answering may be different.
Okay. Any other opinion?
Hello.
Yes, Frank.
Yeah, so I also think that the way you have engaged your AI, the ChatGPT, the engagement, yes, that so it veers towards your pattern. So you get pieces of what you have been able to do with the prompt. That's also caused the changes.
Okay.
Doc.
Yes, Raymond.
Yeah, if my memory serves me right, the other day, Dr. Boyson said, if you buy the app, it seems it will delve deeper. And the answers may differ from those of us who are doing it online. So I think that's the reason why he seems to be maybe either deeper or shallower. I stand to be corrected anyway.
Okay. I think he didn't say deeper. But what he meant was that If you buy the app, you'll be able to do more.
Okay. Okay, sir.
More here means that there is no way when you are writing a 1,000-page book, you get to the middle and it tells you you have exceeded your daily limit. You can come back in the next 24 hours.
Yes.
So that is the more we are talking about here.
Yes, sir.
And not in terms of the answers. As for the answer, whether you've paid or not, it will give you whatever you deserve. But let me also ask you this question. If you are a teacher or a lecturer and you give your student the same question, will you be expecting the same answers from them because you taught them?
No. No, sir.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Doc.
Will they be producing the same answers?
They will not be producing the same answers because some might decide to go and do extra research. So when they come, you see variation. But at the end of the day, the point must be made clear.
All right. So most of the times when these secondary schools and then the junior high schools write the exams, you hear WAEC has hold on to some results because they are seeing some collusion in some schools where the answer seems the same and all those things. So definitely we will not condone that. And we remember we said the AI is mimicking us as human. So behind the scene, the AI has been built such that even if you yourself, you still key in the same prompt after your first response, you will not get exactly what you got the first time. It should vary. I hope you get my explanation.
Yes, we are following, but the multi-dollar question, why the variety?
But what?
Why the variety? The same question from the same bot gives you different answers at different times.
I just explained that. Oh, you didn't hear me well.
I heard you that because it is mimicking human intelligence or natural intelligence.
And the same way why could not expect two students to have the same answer, even though they were taught by the same teacher.
All right.
So it's mimicking us. And it has been designed like that.
So, Doc, sorry. So, may I ask this question?
Okay.
So, if the first answer, let's say, if you are the lecturer, and you have it produces one answer, and you mark it 100% because the answer is to the point. And the second one, maybe not quite accurate as the first. Can that be the case?
Not in terms of accuracy. As for the accuracy, they will be at par. But there will be variation in the answers, the sentences, and the arrangement of the answers. Everything will differ.
Exactly.
Okay.
Substance will be the same.
There was a report like that from WAEC, where students were writing the same sentence with the same wording. When there is a cancellation, you see everybody canceling. When there is a wrong answer, everybody got it wrong. Yeah. Then definitely there is a collision there.
They copied.
They have every reason to cancel it. Yeah. And that is what the AI has been taught not to do. Even though your answer talks about the same thing, but in different form. So the one who said he has gotten different, if we allow him to share right now, we'll realize that whatever is in this will be found there, but the only difference is it wasn't arranged the same way. Yeah. Well, your hand is up.
No, I was just going to make the point that you have made, that the substance of the answer will be
will
same
remain the
or
same.
similar. Exactly. It's just the presentation, the wording, the arrangement, as you said. And I think that's a very beautiful feature of AI. So that it's not just the same thing. It shows the power of the system. The ability to be able to provide different answers from different angles, same substance, but presented in a different way. I think it's very powerful.
And that is
it's
why
still very
I
relevant.
started.
Yeah.
That's why I started by saying that the AI was designed to mimic us.
All right, Dr.
All
Watkins,
right.
let me make a point so that we also, Hayford has the hand up. Maybe he wants to speak before I speak. Go ahead.
All right. Sir, please, thank you for recognition. If that is the case, then of course, why is it that more often than not, most of our lecturers try to prove that this script that you have produced is an AI oriented?
Oh, that one is just a common observation. You can be able to identify that if you are familiar with AI writings.
Okay.
The use of the choice of words and all those things. And this is why we want to avoid, and Dr. Boyson has come out with the VPF framework, which uses human intelligence or component to write like a human, so that where you see some long dashes, AI will write a long sentence. And because the sentence is too long and will be flagged as too long, it puts a dash in between. There are certain words, nuance, and all those keywords that they use. So if you are, somebody who is familiar with AI, you know those words and quickly identify. And even the way most of the time it presents some diagrams and figures.
Okay.
You'll be able to identify.
Okay.
So it's not about the variation in answers or something. That has to do with the output nature.
Right.
All right, Dr. Boyson, you wanted to make some clarity.
I think the very first class this year, I drew the attention to something that technically you guys should know. Now, there's something called large language models. Large language models. Large language models. And large language models are, models like ChatGPT, DeepSeek. So you hear LLM, large language models. So primarily, when we talk about AI, it is large language models that made everybody aware that AI could be used by the end user. If there was no ChatGPT, AI was still in vogue, nobody knew. We were using it on our phones. It was being used in Google search. It was being used in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint for autocorrect and all that. We wouldn't have known. It was in our microwaves, our automatic vehicles, and almost everything we do. Our ions had IP in them. it has sensors, it goes off when it's heated, AI would still be invoked. Nobody would know. It was this large language models that now we're having a conversation. The user is now having a conversation. In all this while, the AI has been at the back end. You get it? So this LLMs has brought this. And it's important we know that when we say large, it's LLM. Large means billions or trillions of parameters powering the system. Parameters. And a parameter can simply be said that if you have a certain sentence that says that my name is Kofi Boyson, that is a parameter that can be stored in the system as a parameter. A whole sentence can be stored as a parameter. A mathematical formula can be stored like y is equal to a plus bx, equation of a line, where y is what? The dependent variable, a is what? The constants, b is what? The slope, and x is the independent variable. That could be stored in a system as a parameter. So when we say large, billions and trillions of parameters powering the system that has been put in there. The language, that is the second L, is designed to work with text and speech patterns. So designed to work with text and speech patterns. Then we have the models. So what is model? Mathematical systems trained on vast what data set? Mathematical systems. So when you hear the large language model, what we mean that large billions of trillions of parameters that is powering the system using what? Text and speech what patterns on those trillions of what patterns that has been stored there. And then based on what? Mathematical system trained on the vast data. So that is actually what the AI is doing behind the scene. Now, the LLMs, they don't store knowledge like a library. They don't. They store patterns of language. They don't store the data itself. They store patterns of language, and they're learning how words relate, sentence flow, argument structure, and how questions get what answers. That's how it's learned. So when it sees y is equal to a plus bx as a mathematical formula, where you say a is equal to this, x is equal to this, b is equal to this, and you're able to get your y, it stores that into the system. So that is why every equation, no matter how complex it is, could be stored in the system. I want you to get this understanding. So it doesn't store data. We said that. It doesn't store, in fact, it doesn't store knowledge like a library. It stores data, but it doesn't store knowledge, but it uses the patterns. Now, and this is where it will shock you. So when you begin to, ask a question, right? What the large language models do is that they use probabilities. But remember that your machine, the machine you are using, the processor speed is different from the one I am using. It's different from Dr. Watson's own, right? Already, the AI has been trained on different patterns and using probability. So if it has brought out an output already, it is not likely to repeat that same thing. Even if you ask it to do that, it becomes a problem. Unless that you give it stringent what? Things to, stringent instructions to do so. So when you say Kofi is going to school, the AI predicts what the next sentence will be. And that's why we say it uses probability. It will predict based on the patterns that are stored. All right. Now, it's also the output that comes, it generates it dynamically. It's not static. And there is no way under the sun that if they put even 1 million systems and they say go, it will generate the same. And that's what Felix was saying, that is the very clever and ingenuity of what the model, that it doesn't repeat what an output that it produces. It can never repeat any output it has produced by itself, because it generates what? These things what? Dynamically. All right. Now, it is also not, it's non-deterministic. You cannot determine the output that the AI will bring. You understand? Because why? It's using probabilities. And more importantly, it's also adaptive to what context. Now, this is what also will shock you. The AI interprets meaning, generates responses, and adapts continuously. But the meaning it interprets is the meaning based on the data set and based on those patterns that has been stored, which is why I didn't bring the VPN because of data hallucination. That was the least of it. It was how AI puts data, everything into computation. Even when they are talking about people's feeling, do you understand? People's spirituality, it puts it into computation. It doesn't see that other side, like the indigenous and ancestral intelligence, which is actually inherent in the data. It is in there. And that's the limitation of the AI. You understand? Aside the things that we talk, that is the limitation. The AI doesn't, once it's just simulating human intelligence, it doesn't see the human side of it. That's why transitioning from this narrow AI to artificial general intelligence, now they want to build intuition into the model, because the model doesn't have that. And that is what agentic AI has come and is now even automating tasks, and they want to build intuition in it. But even if they build intuition in it, AI still that model cannot function as human being. And that is why for us, we think that intelligence must be separated, and AI has to play its role in coordinating them and allowing them to play their function. So you hear me talking about epistemistic sovereignty. Epistemistic has to do with African epistemology, if we are dealing with African. If we are talking about Europe epistemology. If you are talking about Asia epistemology, that is how the AI should be made to function. It is a big flaw for this whole AI revolution. It's a big flaw, but we are still managing with it. So the way AI gives you answers and you are very excited about, what it is telling you about Nobokoko, it is just interpreting data. It's not telling you what actually the history and the cultural settings, how they represent, what you are talking about. No, it doesn't. The hunger is talking about Africa or the death at Abobloshi. The way AI is interpreting it, that is not it. Because that thing is culturally motivated. It is societally motivated. It has a communal behavioral attributes in there that we have not talked about. And that is what the VPF comes to do. So it's just because Dr. Boyton brought this, the reason why I did. The hallucination and the catching people for plagiarism was the least of the things that I thought of. But actually how meanings are words are interpreted within each cultural settings rather than what AI is giving us, which is most of the time misleading us. You understand? Because it doesn't take it in context. If I talk about strategy in Abobloshi, and I talk about strategy, I talk about the same strategy in, let's say, somewhere in the US, right? One of the cities, maybe Ohio. I talk about strategy at the center of Ohio. And I'm talking about strategy at Abubloshi. What will be the difference? I'm asking. I need an answer. What will be the difference?
Question again, Doc.
Hello?
The question again.
I think if you look at the way things are done in agriculture, the environment, the layout, and all those things, as compared to Ohio, he will be thinking differently. So the these are different.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
So I was asking that question. What did you say?
I was saying that if you look at how things are done, for instance, the environment in agriculture, the layout, structures, everything, as compared to Ohio, meaning that it will have to be based on the environment. So
No, but
maybe
let's say that when we are talking about strategy, so you are saying that agriculture will be based on the environment. So I'm asking,
the environment, yes,
what would
based
you
on the
do
environment.
if you want to deter people from maybe littering the place in agriculture? Would it be the same as Ohio?
No.
So
It's not
maybe
the same as
Ohio,
Ohio.
when they see that you've put something down, they'll levy you, right?
Yes.
They'll give you a ticket. If you go to the bank and you've not paid, it is on all your transactions. Abobloshi, your ticket where they give the person, where they go catch up. I'm drawing your attention to something. Why are you going to arrest that person? And that is the void in AI now. Because it is that Western model that is imported here. So you are using the same thing to develop a strategic plan for environmental sanitation at Agbogbloshie. It will not work. The engine that is used today, it won't work.
True.
So do you understand what I'm saying? So that is the big flaw. People are not looking at that. You understand? And the Western world, they don't give a damn because, of course, that is another way of, data colonization because they are bringing their models here. So it won't work. And that is why how many presidents have not come to Ghana and said that they will turn the place into, Akufo-Addo said he will turn this place, Accra, to the cleanest city in Africa. What has happened? It was the filters. The new government has come. It's the same thing they are modeling. Nothing will happen because the models that are used in implementation are by themselves, by default, ineffective. It will not work. Because there's a certain behavioral patterns at the Agbogbloshie guys. The guy who is at Agbogbloshie doesn't have toilet in the house. Listen, it doesn't. So you cannot ask the person to not respond to the call of nature. No. So that space that you want to prevent and you say you give the person tickets, it will not work. If you come there during, maybe dawn time, they will come at 1 a.m. You will still not see them. You understand? So the thing will still happen. So how do we address this? Then it means we have to build a model that is culturally, that is where, Felix, the pessimistic comes in, culturally. So these meanings we are giving to our taxonomy, that is our words and their meaning, are different from what the Western world gives to us. That is actually the bedrock of the visionary prompt framework, not actually, hallucination and all that. That's the bedrock. Meanings to things within the context of that geographical space, the historic events that has happened within that space, the patterns, and how do we use that, do you understand, as a model to change behavior? Those are the things that we look at. I told you here, and I think I've spoken quite for some time. I told you here that somewhere in one of the European countries, they wanted to prevent, there was an accident that was happening at a certain spot. Drivers get there, they will speed, and then the car will hit just as what is happening in somewhere in Accra or Delta, the same thing. Now, the engineers did all that they could. There was this lecturer who was a sociologist who was telling them that, see, not all problems are engineering problems. So they put ramps there, people run on the ramp. You know what they did? They now ask 3 ladies who, had an open breast, they didn't put their brazier on, to stand there and then raise a placard that slow down. The first day they did, there was no accident. Anybody gets there and they slow down. They did it for 1 week. Accidents reduced to like 1%. Later, they put a 3D billboard there. And that was what solved the problem. It was not engineering. Because those people in that, the men in that place, they were more promiscuous. They like any of us, the men, we like breast. So when they saw the breast and it was even 3D, they always slow down. Problem is solved. What did they do? It was culturally engineered. Culturally engineered. So just to explain why you get the text you get, and it can never be repeated, because that's how the model has been architected. Dr. Martin, go ahead. I think this makes sense.
Sure.
All right, so let's continue. So the next mode is simulation. Simulation, as in English, where you can do something in abstract, something that is not real, but you pretend it's real and you do it in abstract. That is what it means here too. So you can put the AI in that mode.
Let me stop sharing. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You are sharing.
Yes, please. So you can go ahead now. It's okay now.
Can you now see mine?
I can see.
Maybe he was not seeing because he was sharing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can invoke or this mode to help you do a lot of things. You know, you can even learn how to fly a plane in your room on a computer. That is simulation that was used. You can drive and learn how to drive without entering into an actual vehicle. To know all the road signs and everything through simulation. So that is what this mode also does. We use it to simulate complex real-world scenario. An example prompt says, simulate the response of a community to a sudden drought, including government aid and farmer reactions. So when the AI system sees the word simulate, quickly it understands what you want it to do. It knows it is not real. It is something you want it to do for you to learn something out of it. So you are going to have a talk, maybe in a town hall, maybe in a gathering, in a church, anywhere. You can invoke this mode for it to simulate what should transpire between you and the congregation you are going to address. Another example says, simulate a district anti-galamsey task force week. Incident, stakeholder responses, evidence log, and daily debrief in bullet points. What do you want us to simulate so that we can? Hello? Is something in mind? I don't want us to use this, how do you call it? The examples I have given. So let's.
Doc, please, can we stimulate on the current cocoa pricing issue?
And what about it? Do you want us to simulate?
So the farmers were complaining before government reduced the prices in order to sell the cocoa. So whether we can stimulate an alternative plan to, instead of selling it at the price, what other thing can be done?
I think it should rather be this way. Is my screen visible? Hello, can you see my ChatGPT screen now?
Yes, yeah, we can see it. It's a new
Okay.
chart.
Yeah. Okay. So probably you are a cocoa board official and you've been asked to go and talk to the farmers at, let's say, Bono or Ashanti or Western, where cocoa is grown. So that is what we can simulate. If you want an alternative means of not reducing the price or something like that, there is another mode you can use. We call it brainstorming mode. So let's look at how you'll be able to talk to the farmers for them to understand why it was necessary for government to reduce the price rather. How you get me?
Yes, Doc.
Yes.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. So let's do it this way. Recently, the government of Ghana and the cocoa board announced a buyer price reduction of the cocoa beans from the farmers. I want you to simulate a meeting between a cocoa board officer is the position CEO
That's correct. Oh, it's you.
So recently, the government of Ghana and the Cocoa Board announced a buyer price reduction of the cocoa beans from the farmers. I want you to simulate a meeting between the CEO of Cocoa Board and the farmers who grow the cocoa by touching on the necessity of the government's action. Do you want us to add something more? Okay. If no suggestion, then I'm executing. See where it is scanning, where all those were broadcasted. It is gathering the information from there. Okay. Okay, so if you see what is written here, it says the mode system and stroke meta lenses Ghana Policy Pack and Pan-African Voice and Accent Mode, level 100. This is VPF at play. So let's see. Simulated stakeholder meeting, CEO of Cocoa Board and cocoa farmers. The venue is Cocoa Board Regional Hall. It's a hybrid farmers reps in person, district reps on call. The purpose is to explain the mid-season producer price reduction and agree on safeguards for farmers. So this is the opening. So it says the chair stroke moderator. So the moderator, colleagues, we are here because the producer price has been revised mid-season to 2,587 per 64 kilogram bag and 41,392 per ton for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop season. Farmers have asked for clarity. Why now? Why this size of cut? What relief comes with it? So the second is a CEO statement. Why government acted? So CEO, Dr. Randy Abbey. So I'm now the Dr. Randy Abbey here. Did we even mention any name there? No.
No.
So fellow farmers, let me start plainly. This decision is painful, but it was taken because the system was seizing up and farmers were already being harmed through delayed payment. Here are the hard facts driving the decision. World cocoa price fell sharply from an average around 7,200 per ton to about 4,100 ton in the period referenced by the Producer Price Review Committee. That drop made Ghana's fixed price commercially unworkable for buyers. Because the Ghana price was above what the market could sustain, beans started piling up unsold, and licensed buying companies slowed or stopped buying, which meant farmers waited for money even after delivering cocoa. We had cocoa stocks and payment arrears building. As a stopgap, public reports indicate Cocoa Board has begun paying farmers for a portion of the backlog. Example, 237 million for 50,000 metric tons announced by Cocoa Board's public affairs head. That shows the stress was real and immediate. So the necessity was this: either adjust the price to restore buying and cash flow now, or keep a higher paper price while farmers continue to suffer non-payment in practice. Third is farmers' response. So who will be the farmer here? Someone should read.
I can read, Doc. The farmers' responses. We understand the market. We need fairness. Farmer rep, Western North. CEO, we don't live in the clouds. We know prices can fall. But why must the cut be mid-season? We plan school fees and inputs based on the earlier price. Female farmer, Ashanti. When you reduce the price, our margins disappear. Fertilizer and labor don't reduce. If we can't maintain farms, next season, you will get less cocoa. Cooperative leader, Eastern. We also fear smuggling incentives when price gaps open. Last season's tensions were already high. This move could worsen it if not managed.
Okay. So the decision wasn't just a cut, it's a reset of the financing model. You are right to demand fairness. So let me give these 3 clarifications. Why mid-season? Because the price fall happened fast and the backlog was growing. If we delayed action until the next season, we risk a longer period where cocoa is delivered but cash doesn't move. The official communication states the review aimed to cushion farmers while restoring marketability, and it sets the revised producer price for the remainder of the season. So what changes so this doesn't repeat? Government has announced a new financing approach, including domestic cocoa bond, and a move forward tying farm gate pricing more directly to international market rates, with policy intent that farmers receive a defined share of the FOB price. Negotiation. Farmers demand conditions. Attack to the cut. So farmers rep, let's hear you.
If you say this is to restore payments, then make it concrete. 1, pay all outstanding deliveries on a clear schedule. Publish the pricing formula and assumptions. Protect inputs, mass spraying, seedlings, and extension, so yields don't collapse.
Okay. So agreed in principle. Let's turn that into commitment. So agreed commitment, simulated minutes. Commitment 1, backlog payment and timeline. Cocoa Board commits to a dated payment schedule for all verified deliveries already made, with weekly reporting at district offices. And then the transparent pricing mechanism. Cocoa Board will publish a 1-page farmer brief explanation explaining well price reference, exchange rate assumptions, cost, FOB calculation, and how the producer's share is derived, consistent with the announced policy direction to link farm gate to market realities. Commitment 3, farmers cushioning package. Prioritize productivity support. That's mass spraying, disease control, rehabilitation focus, extension to produce, to prevent production decline and protect farm income over time. Cohort has recently highlighted operational challenges around production risks. These become more urgent under low prices. So you have all the commitments, and then the closing by the CEO. Say the cut was not because farmers doesn't deserve better. It happened because the world price fell hard. Cocoa became difficult to sell at the previous fixed price. Cash flow broke, and farmers started experiencing the worst outcome, delivering cocoa without being paid on time. The revised price is meant to restart buying and payment now, while reform tie future pricing more closely to the market so arrears don't build again. So that's it. So you see, assuming you are Randy Abbey and you want to go to the farmers, just give your plan to the AI and ask it to simulate when you get there what you can say to convince the farmers to understand why you took that decision. It is something that has not happened, you are about to do, but you want to see it in abstract so that you can prepare before going. So we can use this mode, the simulation mode, to do a lot of things. All right, so let's continue. So the next mode is brainstorming mode. Oboku, your hand is up.
Doc, I was thinking about something.
Okay.
That in this particular simulation situation, couldn't we have added that they should add possible questions farmers can pose during the meeting?
Oh, I was just trying to demonstrate. That is why I said, assuming you are Randy Abbey and you are going out there, what you want to hear from the farmers, the reactions and everything, just tell the AI exactly what you want to go and do. So it can be added.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You could have added, we could have added, you know, I asked, what else do you want us to add before we execute? If we had added, it would have added everything. A whole lot of questions to clarify their minds will have been added. All right. So we are now on brainstorming mode. Brainstorming, as in English, is the same here. You put the AI into this mode in order to brainstorm, in order to find solution to problems, in order to come out with a joint decision. So in Ghana here, we often hear when there is a change in government that some big time economics students or economists, if I should put it that way, have been invited by the president for a camp at Akosomo or Royal Senchi, whatever, on a 3-day retreat to come out with solutions to revive the Ghanaian economy and all that. And they'll go there, take per diem, sleep, accommodation costs, and everything, and then come out with some few points that they think will be the antidote to the challenges we have in the economy. This thing can be done by the president in his office without involving anybody. It can be done by the finance minister alone, without calling anybody to come and take any per diem and chill somewhere. All you need to do is to give a proper prompt, narrating what the Ghana economy is going through and what you think you intend to do, and whether the AI has other alternatives for you. You want at least 3 major changes that can bring back the economy. Try the AI this, and it's going to do a thorough brainstorming. You can even go to the extent of asking it to, go to Europe and look at the best economies there and come out with their structures that has been put in place there that is making it work, and we are not. The AI will do a marvelous job for you on this. You don't need to bring people together. So the same way at our workplace and everywhere we find ourselves, if we want some solution to problems, we can invoke the brainstorming mode and ask the AI to bail us out. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. So the purpose of invoking or putting the AI into the brainstorming mode is to generate a wide range of creative ideas or solutions or approaches quickly. It is useful when you need to explore options or start a project that you don't even have an idea about. The AI will brainstorm and come out with some beautiful ideas for you. Why this brainstorming mode matters to us? It helps overcome idea blocks. If you become blank in thinking, you can't think anymore. All your thinking has ended. There is no new ideas coming up. Brainstorming mode will help you extend your thinking. It sparks innovations and uncovers unexpected angles. Something your mind has not even gone to, the AI will bring it back and let you do reconsideration of whatever decision you've taken. So, example of a prompt in brainstorming mode, it says list 10 innovative methods to reduce post-harvest losses for cassava farmers in the Ashanti region. What makes this a brainstorming prompt? Let's Jojo. Do you think they will be brainstorming with this kind of prompt? Hello? I'm asking a question.
Dr. Boateng, what is there is a ChatGPT. I don't know whether you are presenting.
Your slides are not showing.
And you're not telling me.
So, see that one.
I thought I shared full screen, so thought you were seeing it. Can I see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the prompt. It says list 10 innovative methods to reduce post-harvest losses for cassava farmers in the Ashanti region. And I said the purpose of putting the AI in a brainstorming mode is to generate a wide range of creative ideas, solutions, or approaches quickly. It is useful when you need to explore options or start a project. A new project, of course, that you need more insight. Help overcome idea blocks. That is why we need to use this brainstorming mode. Sparks innovation. So uncovers unexpected angles of a situation. And I'm giving an example of such a prompt. And I said, list 10 innovative methods to reduce post-harvest losses for cassava farmers in the Ashanti region. And my question that followed was, do you think this prompt will put the AI in a brainstorming mood? No or yes? If no, your reason. If yes, your reason.
Yes.
Okay. First part answered.
Yes. So if we look at the example, that we should list 10 innovative methods. It means that we go back to the purpose. We say we want to generate a range of creative ideas. So if we are creating an idea, we want to engage the AI to create this idea. And why it matters is that we want to also uncover, to spark innovation. So we are challenging the AI to list these methods so that we'll be able to reduce the post-harvest losses for cassava in the Ashanti region. So once it's able to list those innovative methods to reduce the post-harvest losses, it is coming out with an idea and it is brainstorming. That is my take. Thank you.
Okay. Any other opinion?
Doc, please.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I think this prompt will only generate a list of ideas, innovative methods, but it will not explain the method.
And that's
just, yeah. So probably we need to go a bit further.
It will be brief.
Yeah. We just list the method, maybe cost reduction at the farm gate, blah, 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 blah. But as to how methodically you can achieve that method, that would be missing.
Yes. Yeah, Doc. I also believe that because we have in the instruction, we've given it a specified area to cover. It becomes a good brainstorming prompt. We've given it a specified area, Ashanti region. That gives it a restricted community within which it should work. So it's a good prompting instruction.
Okay, so
this is what I also think.
Okay.
Brainstorming is a discussion. But here we are just entrusting it to list instead of discussing it. So I don't see it to be the best prompt for brainstorming. Thank you.
Okay. So the purpose of brainstorming mode, when you look at what is on the screen, says generate a wide range of creative ideas. Without going into details, if it's able to just list them for you, it forms part of brainstorming, because you cannot just get up and list them for me. You must think. You must think through. So there are a whole lot of methods that you can use to reduce post-harvest. But we are looking at 10 innovative ones. This means the AI has to do a thinking, think through all the methods available and come out with the 10 best. So brainstorming is not always about discussion, as you said. It's about ideas generation, coming out with creative ideas. So yes, this prompt will definitely invoke the brainstorming mode. And there I will do a lot of brainstorming. One, the innovative ideas available to it, it has to think through and know which one is more innovative. And two, it will not just go to any area in Ghana, but in a particular restricted area, where it is also going to think through and see what the farmers do there before it comes out with the 10 innovative ideas. So yes, it will invoke the brainstorming. The next prompt example says, generate 12 low-cost post-harvest loss solutions for maize in Bono East. Note, cost band in cities, skill level, and time to deploy. So this, as the previous prompt, also invoke the brainstorming mode in the system. The next is research mode. And the purpose of putting the AI into this mode is to help gather, synthesize, and organize academic or scientific information from available data. It assists in background research and literature reviews. So gone are the days when we had no chatbots and those things that we can use for our research in this. Before you can make the AI function well in its raw state, you have to invoke the research mode in it. So why does this mode matters to us? It speeds up research by summarizing complex information, identifying gaps, and providing structured insight. So I want to remind you that when we talk about research, it's not only about the one we do and publish. You can do a research to gather information from various sources without necessarily going into publication or anything of that sort. So let's look at this prompt example. It says, summarize recent studies on soil degradation in northeastern Ghana and suggest areas needing further research. Do you want to try that? The next prompt says, create an annotated outline for a literature review on urban traffic and productivity in Accra from 2015 to 2025 with 6 sub-themes and key metrics to extract. So let's pick the first example. Summarize recent studies on soil degradation in northeastern Ghana and suggest areas needing further research. How would this put the AI in a research mode? Hello, are we there?
Yes, we are there.
We
Okay.
dip.
Dr. Martin,
I think from the research
Yes,
mode,
sir.
you have 45 minutes to give me. So let's go through this thing
Okay.
a bit faster.
All right. Is I have how many to give you?
You have 4 minutes more.
Okay. Yeah, someone wanted to say something. Okay, so I said, can this invoke the research mode? Yes. If you don't actually research,
yes, it can,
and come out with the studies on soil degradation, you will not even be able to summarize the results for me.
okay.
Yeah. So it definitely involve research.
Okay.
So I hope you're taking notice of the words we use in order to invoke the modes. So we have also analytical mode. The purpose is to request the AI to compare, to evaluate, or to analyze data, theories, or situations critically. Supports decision-making and policy evaluation. Why analytical mode matters. Encourages deeper understanding by breaking down complex information, comparing alternatives, and identifying cause and effect relationships. Let's look at this example. We say compare the benefits and challenges of organic versus chemical fertilizers in Imo State's crop production. So what makes this analytical? Give me just one word in the prompt that makes it so.
Compare.
Great. Great.
The word
So
compare
now,
makes it.
yes,
Yeah.
compare is the answer. That will definitely put it in the analytical mode. And then the summary mode. The purpose is to condense long texts, report, or discussions into concise summaries, key points, or abstracts. It saves time in reviewing lengthy materials, support report writing, and facilitate knowledge sharing. So example prompt says, summarize the main findings of this report on water quality in Eastern region in 5 bullet points. That simply means that you have uploaded the report onto the AI before issuing this prompt, right? The next one is summarize a 10-page report on youth unemployment and skills into 6 bullets, plus a radio-friendly 60-second script. So that ends the mode, and if we have time again, we'll look at how to combine the modes in one prompt in order to get the best out of the AI. The modes are combined based on what you want to extract from the AI. So you don't just issue a prompt. If you are issuing a prompt, you know what you want. So you have to be intentional about the prompt you are writing, because it is the prompt that is going to bring out what you want. So on this note, I'll end my session here and invite Dr. Boyson to take over. Unless, of course, you have any question for me to answer.
Yes, Doc. Please, assuming I am writing a 100-year history of an institution at a particular geographical area, and I don't have specific historical outline. In this direction, how can I give a prompt or a meaningful prompt to the bots or to the model to give me accurate information about the institution?
You want to write a history of an institution. Is that what you said?
Sure. Either a church or a school or any organization that matters.
Oh, okay. And do you think the information is available that the AI can go and search for it for you?
That is what I'm asking.
So until you ask the AI, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
Okay. So first you can put the AI in a conversation mode. Have you heard about this institution?
Sure.
It may answer, sure, I've heard about that. So and so and so and so. What do you want me to do for you with regards to the institution? I was thinking I could write some history since its inception 100 years ago. Do you think you can be of help?
Okay.
It will come back and give you some information.
That's
and
good.
if it gives you a positive information, then it means it has gone search through things and realized that there are information that it can use for you. Okay. And if you say yes, then you say, okay, in that case, I want you to start writing this right from the very first year of the establishment of the institution to the present district. But before you do that, I want you to put it in a book form. So first, come out with the table of content for the book you'll be writing for me to approve before we start writing chapter by chapter.
Sure.
You see how I started the whole thing and where I'm ending?
Yes, please.
Someone was saying the academic intelligence that I refused to write this thing for you, but I was using it in writing proposal. Just today I wrote a proposal and sent it to UNESCO.
That's right.
There was a call there. It's how you converse with the AI and that will let it open up to you.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yes,
that's go and try that and see if you won't get what you want.
Yes, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Boyson, please.
Yeah. All right. So I would need someone to share his screen so that we use that person for trial. We're going to do grants. Is there any call? Is there any call? Does anyone has any grant call? If not, you just share your screen. Whoever wants us to use him for the case study. Hey, sir, no one is ready. Okay, I want the grant, the academic.
Doc, I have one.
The GTP. Let me see.
My screen is on, Doc.
Where is that GPT?
Academic intelligence.
It's academic we are doing, Abby?
Yes. Sorry. No need to answer that question.
All right. There's someone who just joined. I spoke to the person behind the scene. Is the person around? I spoke to you just a while ago. Is that person on the call? Because I wanted to share the link with that person. What's the name?
How can we get a AIC, the Academic Intelligence Center? Some of us do not have it.
So have you registered?
Yes, please.
You're on the platform?
Yes, please.
And then it should be there. You should see it. I've just reposted this evening.
Okay.
Or you just joined?
No.
Yeah, it's there. Just go on the
Okay,
platform.
so
Someone just joined, and I just sent a link to the person. So I thought that it wasn't. So this is what we are going to do. So, Felix, you are going to give a brief description of yourself. So say that, just let us know we want to do something on climate change, right? So let's say I'm a PhD, I'm a researcher. Say I'm a researcher from the Office of the President, the Office of the Minister of State, the Office of the Minister of State of the Presidency, in charge of climate and sustainability. Climate and sustainability. We are looking for a grant opening in order to support the 24-hour economic policy. Particularly in agri sector. In agri sector, with focus on which product do we do? Cassava and cashew. I would like you first to walk us through some of the basics in grants writing. First of all, you give us a broader understanding of what is grant and why organizations set up
Broader understanding
of what is grant, what is a grant, and why organizations set up to issue grants, grant calls for people to apply. I believe that this will help us to appreciate the subject. Okay. So what have I done? We could turn this to just thesis. We could turn it to writing an article. You understand? We could turn it to anything, right? So this is what we have done. Felix, you copy it and put it in the chat. And then we execute.
Where's the chat?
The chat here.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for the chat. Where is it?
Tap your phone. Tap your phone or click on the screen. You see mute, start screen share, or start video, then chat. You click it and it open.
Hmm? What did you say?
You said you are looking for the chat.
Okay, done. Doc, done.
Okay, so let's read. Let's go and read.
Thank you for the context. Since you are working from the Office of the Minister of State of the Presidency in charge of climate and sustainability, and your interest is to support a 24-hour economic policy in agriculture, cassava, and cashew, this discussion must be framed at the level of public institutional strategy, not just basic proposal writing.
Have you seen, guys, have you seen it? You see that context is everything when it comes to, the AI. Are you guys with me? Context is everything. So if you are writing a proposal and you're a PhD student, you think that giving more context that I'm a PhD student from the University of Professional Studies in a department of blah, blah. Once you're doing that, the AI is scoping, right? And let me tell you what you do. When you say UPSA, it goes to the repositories of UPSA and sees the UPSA scholarship, world rankings. Where are they? Do you understand? That's the first thing it will do. And then now you talk about where you are covering the subject area. It looks at globally. Okay, the guy is doing finance. Who are the global leaders when it comes to finance? What is the literature saying when it comes to finance? Then now you zoom to your department, then it goes to your department. What are the top professors in your department? Who are your supervisors? How many people have they supervised? How many publications have they engaged in? Then you come to yourself. You mention your name and the area of study, it goes there. So before it begins to talk to you, like I told you, the VPF, it has already contextualized it. If it picks your topic, it picks the words in it one by one. There's no system that does that. Your AI itself cannot do that. It takes because it deals with what? Ontology. How words emerge. Where are they coming from? What theory do they emerge from? Epistemology. Physiology. It talks about, it sees this at that level, and that's what it's doing now. So it said, what is a grant? Go ahead.
What is a grant? Conceptual and institutional understanding. A grant is a non-repayable financial allocation provided by a government, multilateral institution, foundation, development bank, or research body to support activities that align with its strategic objectives. A grant is not a donation. It is not an investment seeking financial return. It is a policy instrument. Grants are used to influence direction, support innovation, correct market failures, address public goods problems, advance strategic, geopolitical, environmental, or economic crises. In technical terms, a grant is a conditional transfer of resources for the execution of activities that advance the grantor's mission while shifting implementation responsibility to the grantee.
No, let's get there. Let's read that again. That's what
a grant. A grant is a conditional transfer of resources for the execution of activities that advance a grantor's mission while shifting implementation responsibility to the grantee.
So Microsoft, for instance, wanted to, or we put, I think 2020 or so, put like $1 billion into malaria. Microsoft, his vision is that he wants to make sure his name remains, his legacy remains, that it will not be erased in history. Of course, he will try, but it will be erased anyway. Because in the next 200 years, they will not even forget that there was somebody called, Microsoft. Because the lives of Power Grant today, we hardly remember them. Nkrumah over time will fizzle out, right? So he is not 100 years yet. So he will fizzle out when we go to, so that's what they try to do. So they will transfer the responsibility of the implementation to you, but they have the ambition in their head. So grant is also a form of geopolitical strategy. You understand? It could be politicized. It could be used for political expediency. For instance, a government is in power now, and they try to float grounds for the opposition to be deemed project that the opposition president will be commissioning. So they will do borehole here, grant, they will commission another one here. So the guy is in opposition, but he's doing things. You get it? Grant could be so. So you look at it from that perspective. Let's go ahead.
Why do organizations issue grant calls? Organizations issue grant calls because they cannot directly implement all interventions themselves. Grants allow them to A. Advance strategic mandate. Examples: National Science Foundation funds scientific research to advance national innovation. National Institutes of Health funds health research to improve public health. European Research Council funds frontier research to strengthen European scientific leadership. African Development Bank funds infrastructure and agricultural transformation in Africa. These institutions do not operate farms, laboratories, or factories directly. Instead, they finance qualified actors to execute aligned interventions. B. Correct market failures. Certain sectors, like climate adaptation, agriculture, or value chain industrialization, are high risk, long-term, low immediate return, public good oriented. Private capital avoids them. Grant capital absorbs risk and catalyzes systemic change. For example, climate resilient cassava research, sustainable cashew processing hubs, renewable powered agro-processing under a 24-hour economic system. C. Achieve measurable development impact. Grant-making organizations are accountable to taxpayers, member states, donors, governing boards. They issue competitive calls to ensure merit-based allocation, transparent selection, measurable outcomes, alignment with policy frameworks, for example, SDGs, NDCs, green growth strategies. D. Leverage external expertise. Governments and multilateral institutions rely on universities, ministries, research institutes, sector consortia, NGOs. Grant calls allow them to crowdsource innovation and expertise. Number 3, types of grants relevant to your context. For a climate-linked 24-hour agricultural industrialization policy, cassava and cashew, the relevant categories include research and innovation, resilient varieties, post-harvest systems, energy-efficient processing. Number 2, development implementation grants, processing infrastructure, agro-industrial parks, renewable energy integration, cold chain systems. 3, climate finance grants from Green Climate Fund, Global Environment Facility, Adaptation Fund. These specifically fund mitigation, adaptation, resilience, low carbon transitions. Number 4, why grant calls are competitive. A grant call is competitive because resources are limited. Political legitimacy requires fairness. Funders must demonstrate impact efficiency. Risk management demands screening. This is why calls require clear problem statement, theory of change, measurable indicators, logical framework, budget justification, monitoring and evaluation plan, risk management plan. Number 5, the strategic psychology of a grant call. When a funder issues a call, they are essentially asking, who can help us solve this problem better, faster, and more responsibly than we can internally? Grant writing is therefore not about asking for money. It is about demonstrating strategic alignment, institutional capacity, implementation credibility, policy coherence, measurable impact. In your case, 24-hour economy, that's cassava plus cashew. From a grantor's perspective, the questions would be, how does this reduce climate vulnerability? How does this enhance value chains? How does this generate employment? How does this contribute to national NDC targets? How is sustainability embedded? Energy, water, waste. If framed properly, this becomes climate resilient agro-industrial transformation, inclusive green industrialization, low carbon value chain modernization, nighttime economy powered by renewable energy. This is fundable. Number 7, the core philosophy of grant writing. A grant proposal must solve the funder's problem, not yours. Translate national policy into fundable models. Convert political vision into measurable deliverables. Show sustainability beyond the grant period. The grant ecosystem. Who sets up grants? Grant issuers include, on the category, we have multinational banks. Examples are World Bank, African Development Bank. What is the motivation? Economic development. Category, climate funds. Example include Green Climate Fund. Motivation is climate mitigation adaptation. Another category is bilateral agencies, USAID, GATE, foreign policy plus development. And then we have foundations, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, philanthropic missions, research councils, National Science Foundation, knowledge innovation. Each has strategic frameworks, thematic priorities, budget ceilings, compliance requirements, reporting systems. Why this matters before writing? If your team understands what a grant truly is, why it exists, who benefits, how power and accountability operate, then your applications become strategic instruments, not funding requests. Moving forward, before we proceed, how to structure a grant proposal, how to identify the right funder, how to position cassava and cashew under climate finance, how to align with international climate commitments. I need to clarify, is this intended for climate fund application, a multilateral development bank facility, a bilateral donor program, a research grant? Is the country Ghana? Is the 24-hour economic policy already documented in a cabinet-approved policy paper? Once clarified, I will guide you through step 2, which will be the architecture of a winning grant proposal from institutional perspective.
All right, so I want comment from you guys. Are we learning? Does this make sense?
Yes,
it does.
Yes.
You go answer fast, no, then I do answer. And the speed where they take answer with the mute them, the level of professionalism will be see also. Yeah, I need comments. Yeah. What I've realized from I think that most people, you see, at the PhD level, How many PhDs do we have and master students do we have here? Please, your hand must be up. All right. Okay. Felix, are you doing PhD? Okay, masters. Okay.
Yeah, I did masters.
You're doing PhD. Okay. Well, let me see. Edmond upon. I just want to give you an advice. Okay. Okay. Felix, so this one, just generate, click the share and send it to us. Let's do something quick. Now, click the share. Now, I've always took, how many people have heard me say that every day I read a paper? How many people have heard me say that? That since 2014, that I started my PhD. From that day up to now, 365 days a year. Sometimes in a day, I read about 8 papers. So if I read 8 papers, in my mind, I've covered the whole week. I even end up reading more of it. And I do that for a reason, because you see, in this space of academia, you need to demonstrate mastery when it comes to what? Literature or knowledge. And there is no magic to this than, reading. Thank God, when I was doing my PhD, I didn't have a platform like this. So, fellas, let's go to a new chart with the same academic intelligence. Yeah, the new chart. And this one, let's all do it. Let's all perform this exercise. No, not a new chart. You've gone to a new chart. Yeah, go to the top where the 5.2 is. No. Click here and then new, start a new chart. So we stay within the same band.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are going to do is how this platform is going to help us. I've not taught this before. It's going to help us do extensive, reading ourselves. So that's what we are going to say. Let me use one of the guys. Who is PhD here? PhD. We need you. Okay. Gameli, are you doing your PhD? Your hand is up. Are you doing Gameli somewhere?
I've not started yet, but I've been reading. I've been reading a lot.
No, we want the people who are in the soup.
I'm doing PhD.
No,
I'm doing PhD.
Who is doing PhD?
Me, Winfred.
Okay, Wilfred. Okay. So that's what I am, Wilfred. I'm Wilfred. Yes. And then the other name is what?
Adinote, ADINORTEY. TEY. Yes, please. Yeah.
And then describe yourself. A PhD student with what? University of what?
Professional studies.
And then add your department.
Accounting.
Yeah. And what you are. If you have a topic or an idea you want to deal with.
Oh, I'm dealing with a blockchain technology.
The university UPSA, not IPSA.
UPSA.
It's not Institute of Professional Studies anymore.
Yes.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So department of the PhD, the H is small. It's not. In some instances, they even break a dot after the H. Okay. University of Accounting. which department in the accounting department, and then which topic are you studying?
Taxation, and I'm looking at blockchain in taxation.
Okay, I'm looking at blockchain in taxation.
Blockchain technology in tax administration.
I want to own this work.
Yeah.
I want to own this work. And I want you to provide me with a read list of the lead artists in this subject area. The most cited and their arguments.
So,
the most cited and their arguments. In doing this, I need you to provide. In doing this, I need you to provide a summarized form of their papers in their argument, provide conversion and in their argument papers. Okay. In their argument, provide converging and contrasting views.
Converging. How do you spell that?
Constructing constructs.
Construct or contrasting.
Contrasting views and how this advanced scholarly work. I want you to be doing this for me on a daily. I want you to be doing this for me on a daily basis. So anytime I start a fresh discussion with you, you will take me through this process. And at each point in time, you document what has already been discussed and what we are adding.
Take me through this process.
I'm saying extempore, so I'm even not looking at it. You guys you take me through the process. What did I say again? I'll start fresh discussion with you. You take me through the process and indicate where we reached. And what we are to add. In total, before I start writing my proposal, I should read close to about 150 papers. All these papers must be highly indexed, no predatory papers.
Highly indexed.
Yeah. No predatory papers. Somebody says that share the prompt. As if the prompt will not give it to you. Huh? Obed, the prostitute. Okay. So
academic prostitute.
Can you go up instead of own, you put in one. Can you go up? Can you go up? Up, yes. I want to own, not one. I want to own this work. Yeah.
Faraday, you don't know what happened at Imo State. Dr. Watson doesn't know. It's only Shana that knows. You don't go and bring this matter. So
academic prostitutes.
Yeah, all these papers must be highly indexed, no predatory, papers. Now, if you understand my reasoning, hey, Felix, where are you?
Oh,
If you understand my reasoning, let's begin the process. No, if you understand my reasoning, please. If you are not begin the process. If you understand my reasoning, explain it to me, and let me approve for us to begin. Before for us to begin, and let me know if this makes academic sense. So I've stopped the this thing first, the grant. We'll continue tomorrow. So please, it says copy this thing for them. Copy, give them before they come and chew us. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Now, who understands what we want to do? Who understands what we want to do? This is a very tough one for the AI, isn't it? Right? It's a tough one for it, isn't it?
So it is. It is.
Now, let's read. Please, you guys will give me just 10 minutes in addition. Let's read.
Yes, your reasoning makes solid academic sense, and it is the right instinct to protect ownership of the argument while using me only for evidence mapping, validation, and structure, not ghostwriting conclusions. What you are trying to do, explain back to you. You want a high integrity literature build for a PhD proposal on blockchain technology in tax administration, where you read a large defensible body of work, 150 highly indexed items before drafting. You identify lead artists, most cited anchors in the niche, and what they argue. You track converging and contrasting positions, promise versus limit, public versus permission chains, transparency versus privacy, automation versus governance. You build a traceable evidence base that you can later turn into a proposal, a conceptual framework and methodology, with you owning the intellectual moves. That is exactly how strong proposals are built. One adjustment. I can't do this daily, automatically in the background, but every time you message me, even in the first chat, I can resume from the last checkpoint, add the next daily tranche, e.g. 5 to 10 papers, update the evidence table and add map. If you paste the latest checkpoint into a new chart, I will continue seamlessly. Where we are now, checkpoint 1, topic lock, blockchain and DLT applications in tax administration, especially VAT invoicing, e-invoicing, compliance, auditability, information sharing, and automation via smart contracts. Literature strands already visible from initial scoping. VAT, e-invoicing, and fraud gap. Blockchain has transaction trace infrastructure. Tax administration digitalization. Blockchain as one tool among many. Governance and legal design. Permission chains, privacy, institutional feasibility. Initial lead anchors and what they argue. Starter set. These are good first anchors because they are either A, relatively high-cited in this niche, or B, institutionally authoritative and widely relied upon in tax admin digital transformation work. Young, Ran, Kristen, Kim, feasibility plus design criteria, legal governance lens. Core argument, blockchain can fit tax administration only where redundancy, immutability, and shared verification solve real coordination problems. Design must be purpose-led, often permissioned, and bounded by governance and administrative capacity. Why it matters? It moves the debate from hype to implementation criteria.
Where is the guy? The guy, is it Winifred? What's the name?
Yes, Doc.
Winfred, yes.
Winfred. So you see, now it gives you first outer. Please take the cursor to the link for the paper. It's down there. Blockchain what? Have you seen it?
Blockchain initiatives, yes.
Yeah.
The paper is Blockchain Initiatives for Tax Administration by Young Ran.
But he has given you the summary. He said what the core argument in the entire paper. You don't need to read everything. The core argument is what he has indicated, and he's telling you why it matters. So moving from hype to what? Implementation. So, for instance, when you are defending your proposal, for instance, boss, this is where you show mastery. Do you understand? Because if I'm defending my proposal and I say, okay, my topic is about blockchain, tax, something administration, and maybe I'm doing an empirical study and all that, then I will say that, ladies and gentlemen, and panel members, I just want to give a background. The leading artists in this area of blockchain taxation are the likes of what? Young Ran, who argues. Then I talk about this person who posits, another person who contend. But there has been the general discussion in that space is whether blockchain is seen as a hype or we should move from hype to implementation. My topic for this, my study for my proposal, tries to position, the topic within this perspective, also to bring certain, then you talk about it. Masa, if you start talking like that, anybody who wants to ask you a question will have to think twice. You understand? Because professors do not want to disgrace themselves. They don't. And I tell students, master the literature. Because when they know that you know the subject, because you have to talk about the lead artist, in that every subject area has the lead artist. And you as a PhD guy, your responsibility is to make sure that you know these guys and their position. Do you understand? And the emerging argument. okay, you could even, state a trajectory. In the past, 2 decades, the idea of blockchain and taxation was seen as a hype. But in recent years, the past 5 years, with the emergence of cryptocurrency and other bills and people passing bills and law bills to act, it has rather moved from where it's seen as hype to real implementation. Then you start quoting countries. This is your practical understanding of it, apart from literature, before you touch your proposal. So before you talk about even the gaps that you are seeing, they know that you are deep-necked in what? Literature. And I'm only showing you, I didn't teach this one at the first instance. That's why I'm asking the guys to join. This one helps you now. You are building a literature. So we are going to create a table, all right, and put these ones in. The core, what they argue when it comes to the subject matter. The second one is what? Maria S. something something. Please, let's read that and go down.
Okay, Maria S.
Yeah.
Maria S. Setiowati and co-authors. VAT e-invoice model plus privacy constraint. Core argument: blockchain can support VAT processes like e-invoicing and tracking. For example, invoice serial numbers, but its usefulness is constrained by taxpayer confidentiality. Therefore, focus on data elements safe to distribute, usually via permissioned private blockchains. Why it matters: a concrete system design discussion and an explicit privacy boundary.
Then there's the third one. Let's go down.
Third one
let's
is
go down. Yeah. Let's go down. Let's go down. So we can't read all. The fourth one, part compliance. And this one, the third and the fourth one is by OECD, and then what? Another institution, PwC, right? Go down.
Yeah, it is PwC.
Yeah, go down. Converging and constructing views, right? Because that's what we do when we are doing literature review. Okay. So let's say the converging, most authors agree. What they agree on?
The converging and contrasting views, what you will track across the 150 papers. Converging, most authors agree blockchain's value is strongest where multi-party verification and temper evidence matter. E-invoicing chains, refunds, cross-entity reconciliation.
Let's read the paper. MDPI, right? These are all indexed. Yeah. Let's go. You can even download the paper here. Let's.
Real deployment is more plausible in permission settings under government-regulated governance.
Okay.
Contrasting. The scholarly tension.
The tension
transparency. Yes. The transparency fixes compliance versus privacy confidentiality limits what can be on-chain. Tech-first claims, automation, fraud reduction versus institution-first constraints, law, capability, interoperability, incentives. Blockchain as core infrastructure versus blockchain as niche component inside broader digital tax ecosystem. How this advances scholarship, your ownable contribution direction. The field is still developing a defensible answer to which tax administration functions benefit from blockchain, under what governance design, and with what measurable compliance outcomes. Your proposal can legitimately target an empirical plus analytical gap, moving from code to conditions, mechanisms, and evidence. Continue.
Yeah. Paper summaries.
Paper summaries. Starter tranche, 3 anchors. Below are PhD useful summaries that stay close to what the papers claim, so you can own interpretation later. Setiowati et al. 2020, blockchain for VAT systems, e-invoice focus. Problem: what systems face fraud and verification challenges? E-invoicing creates data flows that need trustworthy tracking. Approach: qualitative design analysis of how blockchain could be applied to VAT, emphasizing e-invoice components. Key claim: blockchain face transparent VAT data elements, for example, invoice serial numbers, and supports monitoring tracking by the tax authority. Constraints claim: most taxpayer data is confidential, therefore broad, but everything on chain is not feasible.
So wait, let me draw attention to something. What we see here is what most of the time when we're doing literature review, wait, please go up a little. We talk about the topic, the problem, the method, which is the approach, all right? The findings, which are the key claims, and the limitation of the study, which are the constraints, what claims. Have you seen them? So if you're a smart PhD guy, you can adapt this structure when you are doing your presentations. So let me give you an example. Please go a little bit. I want to see the top. Yeah. So I would have said that a plethora of literature argue about blockchain and VAT system, especially invoicing. Now, what's the name? Setiowati et al. 2020 argues that VAT systems face fraud and verification challenges. E-invoicing creates what? Data flow. I'm just using the same sentence. Data flow creates, whatever argues that VAT systems face fraud and verification challenges. E-invoicing also creates what? Data flow that meets trustworthy tracking. Now, the artists employed a qualitative design. And then the findings show that blockchain fits transparent VAT data elements. However, their study also revealed a constraint or a limitation that most taxpayers' data is confidential and therefore broad, and that puts everything on claim. Let me put it this way: their study, the limitation of their study indicates that most tax data are confidential, right? And that puts everything on claim. And in that regard, it makes it not feasible or permissioned private design. Let me see how I'll couch this. I'm just showing you. So most taxpayers' data is confidential, therefore broad, put everything on claim. It's not defensible. Not defensible. So you would have said that the limitation of the study indicate that most taxpayers' data is confidential, and that in effect puts everything on claim, and that in effect putting everything on claim is not defensible. On chain. On what? On chain. Yeah. On chain. I'm saying claim. I'm going on chain. It's not it's not feasible. What I'm trying to say is that for me, during this process when I was doing my PhD, I dipped myself in literature. So this is how I always had a table before this came. And that's why I was able to do these things, I mean, without any wahala, all right? Building this architecture from ground. So this one will be turned into a table when it's building the evidence table for you. The second one is going to do that. But you see, there's always a transition. When I've said this, that this guy argues that, I will say that if this guy is also he is arguing in the same line with the first one, I would have said that, okay, Kim 2021 also agrees. Do you understand? With the earlier ATA. Do you understand? And their study looked at discussed blockchain. It discussed, it said discussion of blockchain in tax has been underdeveloped. He discussed that blockchain in tax has been underutilized, do you understand, relative to crypto, tax stock. Their study also employed a legal policy analysis, which is, similar to a qualitative study. And then the key findings was that it says what? Fits depends on administrative function. Blockchain is valuable where it solves verification. So I could pick their key findings, states that blockchain is valuable where it solves what? Verification, redundancy, and coordinated what? Problems. Now, the study was constrained with regards to what? Governance what? Emphasis. And that is related to where implementation requires careful what? Design choices, limitation awareness, and then policy maker criteria. All right. Then I move to the next. So what I'm doing is the same literature I'm turning around and using connective. However, this guy agrees. The other guy posits. That is how the discussion is done at this level. Wilfred, do you get what I'm saying? So you guys go home, take this prompt, begin to build literature. You can even add the prompt that what is doing into brackets. You should do it in tables. Please go up and let me show you. So that I'll draw the curtains down. Go up. The initial prompt. What we put in there. Okay. So Winifred, and then where we said summarize form of their papers. Have you seen it? Summarize form of their papers. So edit and then into bracket in tabular form. In tabular form.
Can I see now? Okay, no.
Yeah. So in table format. So please copy the prompt for them. Copy it for them. Copy it again for them. All right, Wilfred, does this help address your wahala?
Excellent, Doc.
Who else? We are not doing anything before. We are all doing AI. I'm not hearing. Are the PhD guys here? Dr. Dago.
You want me to send?
Dr. Dakon, Dr. Aqua, Desmond Opon.
Yeah, around though.
Dr. Morgan, are you there? Rebecca, yes. Please execute.
Doc, we are here. We are here.
But you people are not talking.
Doc, I'm around though. Doc, do you know something? I tried shifting
I'm
to
not
my
doing
area.
Yeah.
And
You did what?
I tried shifting it to my area of interest, and the system asked me about my philosophical distance. Let me go back and see. I was shocked before proceeding, so that
Yes.
it would give me the best responses.
Yes.
I was shocked.
No, but that's
It
how.
was asking me about philosophical alignment.
Yes.
So it asks about the ontology, epistemology.
Epistemology.
I gave the choices before it proceeded. It's wow.
No, so you know what it is that it will never happen that you get the research wrong. It's actually your supervisor who will get it wrong, right? So what we have done here is that, and I'm going to show you this tomorrow. Anytime you do a review for your supervisor, you ask the platform to write a letter addressing the comment your supervisor raised in a manner that is defensible and grounded in literature. So when he reads, he cannot say that you didn't do it here. We are giving him evidence. You get it? They will sit up. We did some work, 2 or 3 days ago. So you see what it has done? Have you seen the table I was talking about?
Yeah.
Good. So day one, boss, day one, you are reading all these papers, which is good. Converging and contrasting. You keep this thing in a file somewhere. Right? And today, you don't have to go and buy papers. It is pointing to the papers. You can download. You just pay $20 for ChatGPT for a month, and you can build your evidence table. You see, this is a paper. And this is Scopus or high index, no predatory journal. You know you'll be able to use your eyes to check whether the journal is predatory or not. Sometimes it might mislead you. So you're having all this. This is not the other platform. It says that, oh, we have access to the papers, we'll analyze. This one, it doesn't do that. Those platforms do not address research from, and let me say this. You know, before we wind down, I was telling my head of research, Linda, yesterday, not today, that for those of you who are doing PhD, and even the MPhil guys, listen, do you guys understand why you're doing PhD? Do you know why you're a PhD candidate or you are finished doing your PhD? Do you know your purpose? Let me ask that question. Can anyone answer that? If you can't answer that, then we are dead though. Do you know why? If you don't know and you heard that people are doing PhD, you also did, it's fine.
No, but
Yeah.
I think we want to contribute to knowledge basically, empirically.
That is one of it.
And
What
also
else?
to make complex problems easier.
And in
addition to solve
to make complex problems easier to solve.
Complex problems easier.
Sure.
Okay. What else? Do you know there's a difference between doctor in business administration, BBA?
Yes.
Doctorate. Then we have PhD. PhD stands for what?
Doctor of Philosophy.
Doctor of Philosophy of Science. Okay.
Yeah.
So the trust or the crux of your calling, all right, is to one, advance the course of knowledge acquisition and the creation of knowledge. The creation of knowledge. And that because you're a doctor of philosophy of science, when you are creating knowledge, you should align yourself with your ontology, your epistemology, and axiology.
as a PhD, a Doctor of Philosophy candidate, or if you have already come out of it, if anybody starts speaking, you should know where the person is aligned. That's why they tell you that, those times, professors and this thing, they're able to read people's mind. Yes, they know. Because once we begin to do when I'm talking to you, do you understand? And your statement is me, I believe that this guy is he's an interpretivist guy. Do you understand? But when you're speaking with somebody and he says that it is a known fact that you know that it's coming from what? A realist point of view. Now you see what I'm talking about. So what you are doing, the pillars are your philosophy of science. End of story. Any PhD that is not anchored on this, you are just wasting your time. And that is what I put on the platform. I've created another chatbot. That one is free of charge to help you learn philosophy of science. All right. And it permeates every aspect of human life, not even in academia alone, in our real practice, in our daily living. Do you understand? How other research are done, how we discover gold, how we discover lithium. Everything is subsumed in philosophy of science. That is the grounding. And that is why, as a PhD holder, you shouldn't play with some of these things. And unfortunately, most universities, we don't have professors that are able to teach this thing for people to understand. Thank God today we have platforms that can teach better than the professors themselves. So you have to ground yourself in this most of the time. I was reading a paper every day. I've been doing this since 2014. We are in 2026. I still do every day. And that is why I can veer to any subject area and become the best there. Because when you mention the subject area, I know the lead artist because I've read. Those times we were reading it raw. Today, there's AI. So just imagine how many papers I can read with these platforms. Do you get it? Especially when I have, one with, please, Felix, just go off. Let me show them, briefly. I have one with an execution level of...
No, give me channel. Ne a swap like the name swap.
So we will listen to what you are saying. No.
No.
We will listen. Once you decide to, we will listen. So I want to show you this. So we have, for these platforms, these ones have not given them out. Have you seen that? This one is level what? This one is version what?
75 million.
75 million. And then there's the 100 million. Right? We've not given it out. You are operating at 500,000. This is 50 million. We've not given it out. But what I'll be giving to this group, which will be only those who are here, that is only who registered, is the 10 million. I'll give this one out. This one is the 10 million out. And this one is research orchestration framework. And what does it do? Enforces philosophical alignment, gap, defensibility, assumption, exposure. This guy has still not learned his lesson. He's still talking.
Mute him, dog.
His food is getting cold. The wife is worried.
9:30.
All right. So, transforming research into defensible intellectual architecture grounded in human ownership and order. So this one, when we finish with this study, I told you I was going to send emails to you. You will find it in your mail. For those who are not part of this group, they will have to go on the Play Store and then purchase it. I know some people will pass the back door, but that's fine. Once the license is going up, I'll revoke it and you issue a new one. Right now, I told you we'll hit 1,000. We're already hitting 1,000. But I've trained less than 100 people. The users are 1,000. Can you imagine? So it's good anyway. I mean, we are all learning. So we'll reconvene tomorrow and then we continue. Please, for what we did, I need evidence from each and every one to build some literature based on what the area of study. Tomorrow, the period that we are going to use for review, you are going to share what you have done for us to see. Because of that, I'm going to wait and then post the video, all right, before I sleep. So that's what we are going to do. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you,
God
and God
richly bless
bless.
you.